What's up, everyone? Back in the shop today. Figured I'd do another video going over some tools and my opinion on what I think works. So let's get to it. Correction on this. Last video I did, I said this was a 3/4 set. It's a 1-inch drive set. It's a gray pneumatic. It's been a really good set. So what I wanted to talk about today was a few differences in tools. So this is the 2-inch socket out of the gray pneumatic set, and it's a 1-inch drive. It's obviously pretty heavy duty. This one next to it is a 3/4 inch set that I have. It's a Williams 3/4 inch drive, quite a bit thinner. The socket here is a little bit thinner, and I did that on purpose because sometimes you can't get these thicker sockets into tight spots. So that's why I bought that set. And then another one here, a proto set that I have, these are metric. So this is the largest socket that I have in that set, a 41 millimeter. But as you can see, it's extremely thick. And it's a great socket, but you know, if it's going to be something that you've run into, you might want to think about getting, you know, Sonex has some sockets as well that are even thinner than this. So might be something to consider. All right, I just got these here. They're Sonex. And I think they call them for head bolts or something like that, but what I use them for is U-joints. So the straps on U-joints on semis is what I use these for. So the 1/2 inch, 13 millimeter, and 12 millimeter are what I run into all the time. And then I also use this a lot. So this is a 12-point snap-on socket, impact socket, 1/2 inch, and I use it on this swivel. And that works as well. So some options. And then the other thing I wanted to point out a little bit better than I did on my last video, the difference between these two styles of swivels that they have. And I know Sonex, when it comes to their impact swivels, they're basically just like this, and they're fine. But what I've noticed is, especially with these new impacts that put out so much more power than the old ones, they do break. So I've broken quite a few of them. And this style like this, and has, you know, been a better tool in my opinion. So I guess if you're looking, you want to buy new, obviously buy this style because it's better. I honestly believe it's better, but you know, if you're buying some used tools, I wouldn't steer away from something like this because, you know, it works too. And then if you break it, you get a new one that's a good style. Another thing I wanted to talk about was extensions, and this goofy extension here. My dad, he gave that to me, and it's a Williams, and I don't know, it's really old, but it's kind of funny because I'd never seen one that was a square drive before. They're typically always, you know, round. And this one here, it doesn't even have any markings on it. I don't know what it is, and I know my dad used it for years, and you know, I've been using it for quite a few years too, and it's also been good. So I guess what I'm getting at with some of the 3/4 stuff, the larger stuff, and I mean, if you're using it day in, day out, all day long, I definitely get a really good tool. But I mean, this thing isn't even branded, and I know it's been doing work for probably close to 50 years now, and I don't know, it's been fine. Another thing I wanted to talk about was flank drive and non-flank drive. So these two sockets, even though my dad gave these to me, and I don't believe you can get them anymore from Snap-on. I don't think they make them. They still make the shallows, but both of them have been fine. I've never had any issues with either one of them screwing up a fastener. But you know, it's hard to find this style stuff anymore. Anyways, virtually everybody has the flank drive style Most manufacturers that I've seen nowadays, they all have it. But, you know, for somebody that's looking at something like this, I think in the really small fastener sizes, it might be an issue. But these definitely grab the fastener better. But still, I mean, this thing's been floating around for many, many years, and it's been doing fine. So I don't have a problem buying something that's not flank drive in these larger sockets. I mean, this is a 1 5/8. So, you know, it's never, you're not going to screw up an 1 5/8 bolt head anyways. Then another thing I wanted to talk about was different lengths, and these over here on this side are all 9/16, and this one's a 1/2 inch. This is a Matco. I bought it years ago. I needed a socket, and the Matco guy was there, and that one, he had that one, and it was the length I needed, and it was just in a really tight spot. And everything I had at the time, if I used a shallow socket with an extension, it wouldn't fit. You know, I just couldn't, nothing that I had at the time would get into the spot that I needed. And then here we have a standard deep well, you know, a standard semi-deep. This is an old Craftsman socket, and I cut it off. And I was taking a fan clutch apart on one of our Detroits in a 379 Pete, and I didn't want to tear everything apart. I was in a hurry, so I just hacked this socket off and kind of, you know, cleaned up the burrs on it, and it fit right in there, the exact length I needed, so I could take the fan off the fan clutch and then pull the fan clutch out and change it. So you can see that, you know, it's slightly different length than the shallow, but that shallow was ripping my hands apart on the radiator. So I needed to get just that little bit more room to not peel the dang skin off my hand, and I didn't have enough room to put a pair of gloves on even to get in there. So, you know, it's another good idea to keep a bunch of, you know, cheaper sockets around that you can cut up if you need to. But that was what I wanted to talk about today. I also wanted to talk about this. I had it in the house. I was hanging some pictures up. So this, I got these from, I think I ordered them off Amazon, but these have been really, really good levels. They have a magnet on them. You know, you can turn this protractor head, and they're pretty dang accurate. I was really surprised at how accurate they were. So if you're looking for a little small torpedo level, and I actually have another one that's at the place I'm working right now that I've been using. You know, I use it quite a bit and dropped it and you name it, and it's been beat up a little bit, and it's still accurate, and it still works. And the other thing about them is I do believe that they are guaranteed. So if you ever break it, I'm sure you can get a hold of those guys and get a new one. But, you know, German made, it is a high quality tool, and it's really not that expensive. I was looking around at, I think I have another one here. Yeah, that Stanley one right there. That thing's a piece of crap. I wouldn't waste your money on it. It's not accurate, and it's kind of a piece. I don't enjoy that one at all. So let me know if you guys want anything you want to talk about tool-wise. I'm going to try to start making some more videos talking about, you know, what's been working for me over the years. I've been a mechanic in some way, shape, or form all my life. And, you know, my dad's owned a trucking company. We now own a family trucking business that we've had since somewhere around 2000. And, you know, I've done lots of work on trucks and trailers and have quite a bit of experience. So if you're a young tech looking to, you know, get into that trade, put your comments down there. There's, you know, if I can't answer it, I know there's plenty of people that can. So, all right, guys, talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching.